Hello, what's going on everybody? Welcome. And today we're going to be placing down some cone traps. But before we do that, I want to introduce you guys to this swamp here. This is Cedar Swamp, and this is about maybe a mile from my house. Really nice place, a little bit buggy, but as you can see it's pretty well infested with water lilies. And from what I understand of this swamp, if you can see out there, there's a little bit of a current. And there's a current that runs up there, and it runs down along here. There's a bridge over here where it feeds out of. But this swamp is home to beavers, bullfrogs, bullheads, lots and lots of turtles, an incredible amount of water lilies, as you can tell. And what we're going to be looking for today is bait fish. This is a really good place for bait fish. So over here I got a box full of goodies, and what we're going to be using today is these cone traps. And you guys may have seen these before. I have two sets here, and we're going to be using these. That's the main trap, and of course some cordage. And here's our bait. We got some nice really hard stale bread with a little bit of mold growing on it, but hey, it adds to the flavor. So stick around, and we'll throw in the traps and we'll leave them out overnight, and we'll come back tomorrow and see what we catch. So now I'm going to assemble the trap, but before I do that I'm going to explain it very briefly. For some reason people find this trap hard to understand, and you know, that's okay. The first thing you got to remember is that fish are not intelligent. They're not, you know, Aristotle or Socrates. They are very basic minded. So when this trap is assembled, it's going to look something like this. So now the fish is on the exterior of the trap, and hopefully the idea is he's going to find this sort of hole, this sort of side of the trap, and he's going to follow these walls inwards. And eventually they're going to lead him right into this hole. He's going to swim right through, and now he's going to be in the interior of the trap. Now once he's inside, he's officially trapped. The fish, they're going to follow the sides of the wall, and they're going to end up in this corner down here. It's going to be a dead end every time. But occasionally the fish will find the hole in the center of the trap and they will swim out, but that's not very likely. So now the way this trap works is we're going to rig it together right now. There's this piece here and this piece here, and they hinge together like this, lock in place. And now, as you can see, the trap can open and close, and at the top here it can lock in place like that. Now it's fastened in place. But before we do that, we want to do two things. The first thing is we want to fill the trap full of rocks, because if we throw this trap in the water right now, it won't sink, and we want the trap to sink. These holes need to be underwater, or else the fish can't even get in. So now that it's full of rocks, we're going to take our bread here, we're just going to throw it in there. That's our bait. That's going to do two things. It's going to nourish the fish, and it's going to bait them into the trap. So when the fish are in here for 2 or 3 days, depending on how regularly you check the trap, hopefully, you know, you'll check it as often as you can, they'll have something to chew on. So now I'm going to fasten the trap together, and at the top here there's two holes like that. And I'm going to take my thin string and I'm going to feed it through. Like so. And I'm going to tie it up right here. And now this string is also attached to this very long pile of cordage here. So I'm going to throw this trap in the water, I'm going to let the line out, and then I'm going to tie this to shore. And that'll be my way of getting this trap out of the water and throwing it back in. You know, rinse and repeat until you have, you know, a whole pile of bait fish. Alright guys, so it's starting to get dark here. I just threw my trap in, and I ran the line up to a little tree here. I tied it on, just to make sure that doesn't go anywhere. And we're going to leave this here overnight. We'll come back tomorrow and see what we get.